Hi, I'm Callie from Coding with Callie, and I am building a website builder. And today I'm going to walk you through the login process from the login form on the front end to the back end and show you how everything's working because I just went through a pretty big refactor. In my initial MVP plan for my website builder, I was just going to log in with Postman and make an API request. I was going to return the access token, and then I would just manually copy the access token and paste it into a cookie in the browser. The issue with this was, even though my API was setting an HTTP only cookie, which means it's a cookie that can only be used by the server through an HTTP request, when I was copying the access token and putting it into a cookie in my browser, I was making a regular cookie. So that cookie was able to be accessed with JavaScript, which means I'm open to attacks if someone wants to try to inject code and get access to my code. But now I'm safely doing a login process because I'm using an HTTP only cookie the whole time, and I've just stopped being lazy and decided that I need a login form on my website builder. Let's take a look. So the idea is when you hover over here, you're going to see a hidden login button. And the reason for this is because there's two user profiles for my website builder. There's me, the admin, who's going to want to edit website content, build the website. And then the second user that would use my website is just the end user that will open up codingwithcallie.com and take a look through all of the pages and information. That user, I don't want to see a bunch of admin stuff. So I made the hidden button so that way I know where it is, I'm the only admin, and hopefully it's not that much of an inconvenience to the end user experience. So when I hover over and then I click, it's going to open up a login form for me. So I can put in my login information and submit the form. And what it's going to do is now it's going to take me to the admin view, which is pretty cool. I can also now log out if I want to, and that will take me back to the end user. You can see that a few other pages popped up when I logged in. Let's log in again and take a look. All right. On the end user page, I only had a home page, right? That's because the home page is the only page that's published right now. Published means it's viewable to the end user. I have draft pages, contact, and about. All right, those are pages that are in draft mode, only visible to the admin. And the idea is that I'll be able to click this little button here to edit. It'll open up my page edit view. I can edit, and then directly from there, I'll be able to publish, and that would be visible to the end user. Now, what's happening when we do all of this? Let me open up the code. All right, so you can see, let's go through the logs first. All right, so here, I'm trying to find like the first log here. So the first log is probably logging in as, let's look at logging in as user, username Callie Stroskop, because that's what I sent in. Then it says user logged in successfully with the username. Then it's going to get pages with the role admin, right? Because when you're the role guest versus admin, you're going to see different content. So I want to only get the pages that a guest can see if the end user is viewing it, and I want to get the pages that the admin is viewing. And I want to do this all on the back end, so that way nothing's on my front end. It's easy. I just have to display the data that's returned. And then we can see that the login request was completed. So here is the entire login request. All right. In that login request, we're logging in, getting the user, and getting the pages. Let's go take a look at what that looks like. So we'll start at the handlers. The handlers are like the controller where it's coming in. What are we doing with the route? Well, a handler function is what's going to take the data and do something with it. All right, so first it's going to get the request body. All right, then it's going to call the auth service to log in. So let's go take a look at that. In the auth service to log in, that's right here, you can see that this is where we log that logging in user. All right, we do all of the verification to make sure I'm the correct user and I have access, creating a token, and then here is the cookie part of the puzzle. So we are creating an HTTP only cookie with the JWT. So that's going to be this. All right, it's HTTP only, meaning it only is accessible in an HTTP request. So on the front end, I wouldn't be able to use it. So I am also going to create a regular cookie, and this is going to be not HTTP only. So that way I can access this on the front end. And this is going to allow me to know whether or not a user is logged in, because I don't want to make extra API requests if I don't. My front end likes to check whether or not a user is logged in order to know what to display. So this cookie helps me with that. I set both of the cookies. I set my username and role in my contacts. That's mostly for logging at this point. And then I go ahead and I get my user details, because what I want to do on that login form is after I log in, I want to close my modal, and then I want to update my user and pages. That updating of the user and pages is how it automatically, without reloading the page, I can display the home, contact, and about on my profile picture and the rest of the admin buttons. If I didn't do that, a user would have to reload the page, hard refresh in order to get that data. So that's why my API request is returning the user and pages. Let's go back to the API. Then from this, I'm just returning the user details. If we go back to handler, you can see that there's one more step. I have my user details. I then go call my page service to get the pages that user is allowed to access. And then I am going to return the logged in user details and pages. We already saw on my form that data, the user and the pages, get set, and that is how we see this. The final piece of the puzzle has to do with our Axios request. Something's really cool about Axios is that you can create custom instances, and that way you don't have to repeat yourself over and over. So I've created a very short custom instance that I'm going to add to eventually, but right now it just contains the base URL, and it's saying we want to use credentials. Using credentials is what allows us to have that cookie grabbed and sent with it to the server, and then any cookie that's set by the server is returned and saved in the browser. So if we didn't have this, the cookie wouldn't get saved. But this allows us to not be returning the JWT at all. It's all getting done for us with this with credentials here. You can see in my login form, you can see here, this is where I'm using the Axios request, Axios custom.post logout. See how short that is though? With the custom Axios instance, I can very quickly just say I want to post a logout. It's going to automatically use the with credentials and the base URL for me. This allows me to, in the future, switch this out for an environment variable, so when I deploy, it will be whatever my domain address is. So that's the work that I got done this weekend, and my website builder is now a little bit more secure and a little bit more user-friendly for admins. All right, thanks for watching.